Good morning. Before we start today, I want to just talk a little bit about this whole idea of texting. If you look at the headline up here, texting while walking is becoming more dangerous. Why do you think that texting and walking could be dangerous? I would like you to take just a minute. I'm going to give you 30 seconds, and I want you to turn to your person closest to you, and I want you to think about why texting and walking might be dangerous. You can begin. And then at this point, I would ask various students what their discussion was about or reasons why texting and walking might become dangerous. So we're going to read this article, and what I would like you to do is please follow along with me on the article that you have in front of you while I read with you. As we read, I want you to think about are any of the scenarios that you talked about or any of the reasons that you discussed about why texting while walking is dangerous, if those are addressed in this article. So I'm going to begin right at the beginning of the article. Every year, thousands of people are injured as they walk in the city. Many of these pedestrian injuries are caused by people who are distracted by their cell phones, studies show. Walkers using their cell phones stroll into traffic. They crash into trees. They fall off bridges and curbs. They even walk into wet cement. Many cities want to make their neighborhoods more walkable. Neighborhoods good for walking can attract young people who may not have a car. At the same time, cities are trying to make the streets safer for pedestrians. They are giving tickets to distracted walkers and making cars slow down. Wow! So not only are people doing foolish things while on cell phones, but these are walkers who crash into trees, fall off bridges. That's unbelievable. But cities are now doing something to try to bring that to an end. More people are hurt every year. The number of pedestrian injuries caused by cell phone use is rising. It is up 35% since 2010, according to information from hospital emergency rooms. Cities and states share the same goal of reducing injuries and deaths for walkers, yet they have the very different plans to fix the problem. In Utah and New Jersey, people can get tickets for texting while walking. New York now has lower speed limits, partly to make traffic less dangerous for distracted walkers. We have to design streets for the way people actually behave, and behavior is changing, said Noah Budnick of Transportation Alternatives. If you're looking at a phone while you're walking around, that shouldn't mean death, so we have to design forgiving streets. In New York City, the new speed limits are 20 miles per hour in Central Park and 25 miles per hour in the rest of the city, unless it says otherwise. The city also has blocked off more streets for pedestrian plazas where cars are not allowed. U.S. Secretary of Transportation Anthony Foxx has given $1.6 million to Louisville, Kentucky, New York City, and Philadelphia for walker safety programs. We've got to encourage people to have an awareness that this problem is a real problem. Wow, so in some cases, the people who are walking are getting in trouble, and that's one way to fix the problem. But then there's another way here that they talk about things that cities are doing to actually make the place safer so that people can walk and text. I don't know which one I think is a better alternative. Special sidewalk lanes. In 2012, 78,000 pedestrians were injured, the highest number since 2001. Walking deaths have been rising since 2009. In 2012, 4,700 walkers were killed. Wow. Some states are focusing on stopping distracted walkers. Walkers who text in Utah can face a $50 fine. Police in New Jersey give tickets to people using phones while walking into traffic. Philadelphia had a different plan. They make a joke of it. On April Fool's Day in 2012, the city painted E-lanes on sidewalks. These lanes were reserved for people staring at their phones. Some people interviewed by the city thought the lanes were serious and a good idea. It'll keep most of the bozos out of my way, one cell phone user said. San Francisco has promised to spend $50 million for its Walk First program. The city will examine high injury areas to determine why they are so dangerous for walkers. That could be one way to address the number of people who are being injured, is just create a separate place for them to be. I wonder if that really would make a difference. The dangers of texting while walking. Drivers using cell phones also add to the danger, researchers say. A distracted driver and a distracted walker can be a dangerous combination. In a survey, half of walkers admitted to talking on the phone while crossing the street. 1 out of 4 said they text or email while crossing the street, even though they know it is dangerous. Dr. Dietrich Jell of the University of Buffalo started studying walking injuries while he was an emergency room doctor. He estimates that 1 in 10 pedestrian injuries is now related to distracted walking. Jell has also found that distracted walking causes more injuries than distracted driving. Texting is the most dangerous thing for a walker to do, Jell found. Texting is more dangerous than listening to music or talking on the phone, he says. While talking on the phone is a distraction, texting is much more dangerous because you can't see the path in front of you, Jell said. So what I want you to do now, I'm sure there are lots of things that article brought to your attention. There are many things that surprised me. What I want you to do now is turn back to that same partner, and first of all, were there any things that you brought up in your discussion beforehand that the article commented on? And then the second thing is, what surprised you the most about this article? I'm going to give you 1 minute to have this conversation, and then we'll come back as a large group and talk about it for just a minute.